Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT news. Roster changes potentially happening in the tier 2 scene we're going to dive into today, but also NRG Ardiis giving his thoughts on Sinatraa. Every so often the question is raised, will Sinatraa return to the pro scene at some point or another? Ardiis reckons he should, and he reckons he can, and he reckons that any team right now would take Sinatraa at a moment's notice if he wanted to join that particular roster. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, I would greatly appreciate it. First of all, potential changes here with Shopify Rebellion. We know that GMD here from TSM says, seeing some people post about the Shopify Rebellion team, and knowing that they could be 3-2, 4-1, Reddit amazes me every day. And Zekken's like, look, I think they should drop Dazzle, B-Dog, and Marder, switch to CS2. So it's interesting, right? Because pros often will defend other pro teams, but it's like, okay, they could have been 3-2 and 4-1, and they had some close games, but they ended up 1-4. And if you're 1-4 in that group and not even making it through to the playoffs, it's like, well, you can understand why a team might make some changes. You can understand why fans of said team that see this roster not performing so well might think, well, might make sense for these guys to consider some changes. Turns out they might well be, because they were spotted last night playing a tournament with this team with no Dazzle in attendance, and I guess Bones is here instead, and seemingly doing all right. So yeah, interesting stuff. I know that often pros will say one thing and then the team might do another thing, but maybe Dazzle was just stepping out for whatever reason, but it could be a potential trial they're running here with no Dazzle on the Shopify Rebellion roster to try and take them in the right direction going forwards. Wouldn't be massively surprised if that was the case. Wanted to share a final clip as well here from DSG, actually, or from, well, DisguisedToast himself, discussing their DSG roster, and he's just joking around about, oh, he's going to drop the team, and he's basically just talking about what Cloud9 have done recently, and, well, pretty much roasting Cloud9's decision-making over the last couple of months and saying, oh, yeah, well, we're just going to have role issues, and, you know, dropping a duelist to pick up another duelist, always just entertaining stuff, and just basically throwing daggers at what Cloud9 said they were doing compared to the true reasons behind the vanity and yay dropping drama of the last couple of weeks.
Declare bankruptcy.
What about the players?
Sell them for the cheap.
You're gonna sell the players like that?
Keep them in contract jail.
Bro, these are real humans we're talking about here.
Just drop it.
You're just gonna drop the players?
Release the video. There's a role conflict. Overlap of roles.
That sounds awfully familiar. Why wouldn't you think about it beforehand?
Steel was smiling during one of the games we lost. He had to go.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the game where he waved?
Yeah, can't be having that.
So if there's a role conflict, wouldn't you think of considering that possibility before you pick up the players?
There's a role conflict, man. We need to drop the duelist and pick up another duelist.
Okay, my bad, dude.
Conflict's too much.
Okay, my bad.
Gotta feel bad they went away for Disguise because they play first round up against M80. That's not ideal. I believe only the top 4 teams at this tournament get points towards the circuit. So Disguise, yes, they've qualified for this mid-season face-off, but if they don't get top 4, they don't get any additional points towards qualifying for the playoffs. Like the way their group is going, because they've got all esports in there and the Mad Lions team that isn't doing so well, they could still be okay to get 4th in this group down the line. They're certainly in a decent spot right now, but ideally for Disguise, they get some points from this mid-season face-off towards having the result they want to get to the playoffs, because really the goal is for this team, get to the playoffs at the end of the season for challenges, and therefore try your luck to get through to Ascension, because on a single weekend, who knows what can happen, but still, they've got to get there first, and the M80 draw first round is far from ideal for poor DSG and the boys. Also today, I thought was funny from Eccles here. This, I believe, is a screenshot from some challenges in, I think Lethal Esports are an Indian team, but you can see here there's a car, which I think was the MVP prize. So these guys, there was a car sitting on stage, just like presented by Hyundai, and the MVP was to win this car. And I know that like this is always a thing for, I was reading a story recently of some, I think it was a snowboarder, and when he used to compete in competitions, they would always just have cars thrown at them left, right, and center as MVP awards, effectively, or like just, you know, whoever would win would get the car. And Eccles is like, look, I guess it makes sense for Eccles, right? Because he's now over in the India region there, playing for Velocity, I think is what the team name is called. And yeah, Velocity Gaming. And yeah, you're telling me the MVP wins a car. That's everyone chasing the ecos then, right? Because if you, well, get all the kills on the eco rounds, you get your numbers up, and it's all looking good. So let's talk about this Sinatraa storyline then. So every so often the discussion comes up, will Sinatraa return to the competitive scene? We know that he was on that Untamable Beasts team, right, that tried to qualify, or didn't try too hard to qualify for the challenger side. They eventually fell short. Sinatraa obviously still a very talented player, and many pro players give Sinatraa a lot of gas all the time. The way they've played against him, watching his playstyle, the way that he, controls parts of the map and doesn't over-aggress when he doesn't need to, and knows when to make plays. There's a lot of, positive things about Sinatra's gameplay, but of course for various reasons over the last couple of years, he's no longer really signed to a competitive team. I don't believe his contract with Sentinels has been continued, so he's not really with Sentinels anymore. They did support him though, of course, during the whole drama that Sinatraa went through, and there were questions as to whether Sinatraa wanted to return. He made it quite clear several months ago now that his ban was at an end. He was able to return after doing this online training that he eventually completed, but still, he hasn't really come back, and maybe that's because teams probably don't want to go near Sinatraa and sign him. That might be part of the reason, and you can understand why. Ardiis, though, gives his thoughts on the matter and says, look, Sinatraa, one of the best players ever. Whatever he does, he's unbelievably good at, and any team in the league, he could phone them up and say, look, I want to join your team, and they would say yes. Whether that's true or not, I don't imagine it is, but it does show how much Ardiis rates Sinatra's ability.
I need to ask my chat, what is your opinion on Sinatraa? As a player, not as a person, as a player, in-game player. Do you guys rate, I need to understand, what is the community's player? GOAT, WW, insane. Okay, thank God, bro, thank God, okay. Because, bro, I want everyone to understand, okay? If this guy wanted to go pro, okay, if Sinatraa says, I want to go pro, I want to start playing again, he could join any team he wanted, like this, bro, like this. Do you understand? He go. Let me, give me a second. Hello, G2? Hello, G2? I want to join your team. Listen, he's there, like that, do you understand? Carlos Ocelot's like, boom, you're in, bro. You're in the game, bro. Do you understand? He's ring. NRG, is that NRG? I want to join your team. I want to join NRG. He is there, do you understand? And he's joined NRG, bro. Do you understand? This guy, listen, any team that Sinatraa wants to join, he is that good. Ardiis, W opinion on Sinatraa, bro. Sinatra's the goal, bro. Sinatra's one of the few people in esports, bro. Whatever he does, he's the best at. If he wanted to play, I don't know, like Minecraft, yeah? If he wants to play Minecraft PvP, bro, Sinatraa would be the best Minecraft PvP, I'm telling you right now. Leo is here, bro. Leo is a GOAT. You understand? Leo is here, bro, okay? Leo is 0 and 5 against me, bro. That's a 5. I can't, bro. I'm sorry. That's a 5, okay? Leo is 0 and 5 against me, okay? You know what that means, bro? You know what that means? I'm going to tell you what that means. That means all of this, okay? It's wrong. We have to make this smaller. Oh, it looks okay, but whatever. Now, there's another level. There's another tier, bro. There's another tier on top of this, bro. You know what tier it is? It's Ardiis. I'm on my own level, bro. Like, I'm 0 and 5 against a GOAT, bro. Do you understand? There's some GOATs out there, bro. They haven't got what I've got, bro. Do you understand? Like Leo is, bro. Everyone knows Leo is a GOAT, bro. Leo is here, bro. He still needs he needs to climb a little, bro. He needs to climb a little bit to get to this tier, bro. Do you understand? I think this is Leo's worst game against me I've ever seen, bro. And Leo is immaculate, bro. Leo has no flaws, bro. I'm telling you right now. Another tier for Ye, bro. No, Ye, bro. Ye. Let's think of Ye. Bro, I forgot about Ye, bro. Wait. We have to 3 agents. This Ye's gonna climb! Ye's gonna climb a few tiers, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like there's tiers to this, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Also shared a clip on Leo, just Ardiis is an entertaining character, it's got to be said. And here's Sinatraa just kind of speaking the devil in a way, because Ardiis was saying he's good at everything he does. Here he is at the range, just popping straight headshots right here, and I think he, picked up a SIG or something here as well. But like, he's just hitting straight headshots on the range, so I thought it was pretty interesting timing that he was like, oh, well, yeah, Sinatra's good at everything he does, and then he just goes to the range and popping headshots anyway. So, of course, we know the Sentinels team from a couple of years ago, Sinatraa no longer there. There were some questions, should Sinatraa come back to this team? Would a tier 1 team want to go to Sinatraa? And even I thought it was funny from Ardiis, right, when he was like, oh yeah, Carlos would say, get in here Sinatraa, like we want you on the team. It's like, well, Carlos isn't in charge at G2 anymore, so he can't make that call anyway. And, so Sinatraa, who knows what he's going to do, who knows where he's going to go, if that's even a plan for Sinatraa, if he wants to return, because there certainly was a period where he did, but now it's like, well, he might be happy to stream, it might be less stressful to stream, but there might be an element of him, kind of a similar way to Marved, right, where Marved stepped away from a bit, and clearly Marv still has that itch to compete to a certain extent, and he's probably going to make the return here for Sentinels at some point. He's obviously on the bench right now. Maybe there's a chance he steps into the starting team there at some point in the future, but yeah, where's Sinatraa going to go? Or is it down to a tier 2 team? Because I know that 100 Thieves, and there's been questions that I think Nadeshot has mentioned before. This might have been another player, so I might be getting this wrong, but I believe Nadeshot has mentioned about Sinatraa. They're like, look, 100 Thieves just wouldn't really want to go near Sinatraa just because of the potential brand and reputational implications there. And that's the unfortunate side of what's occurred with Sinatraa, that, you know, even if he's done nothing wrong, he can't really, there's certain teams that just won't sign him straight up because they don't want to be associated with that. And you can understand it from both perspectives, but I know that some organizations certainly wouldn't do it, and that's been one of the key reasons why Sinatraa won't get signed the last couple of years. But of course, the team that Ardiis mentioned specifically there was G2, so maybe he's saying, look, Sinatraa, maybe consider some of these tier 2 teams, of which some of the tier 2 teams would say, you know what, this is our chance to get through to Ascension and win. Now, would Riot Games be happy if a tier 2 team signed Sinatraa, won Ascension? Like, seemingly Riot have nothing against Sinatraa by the current rules. It seems to be suggested right now that if Sinatraa was to compete, he would be allowed to by Riot, and if there is a challengers team out there that says, you know what, if Sinatra's going to help us win Ascension, we've got to give it a go, maybe that could happen. Ardiis certainly believes he'd be an asset to many of those teams. Will he? Will it be allowed? Bit of a question mark. So very much enjoyed your thoughts and all this in the comment section below. Just wanted to mention here quickly from Willminder some interesting ult kill leaders for the Challengers Split 1. Jet ult goes to Oxy with 23 kills with the Jet ult. That's usually going to be the highest of any, but even Verno here with the 15 on the Sova ult, pretty impressive, and Corey and Sim tied for 8 on the Raze, so I guess that makes roughly sense based on what those relative ultimates actually do. But very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.